Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Irvin, also known as Koboman. Welcome to another session of Help Desk, resolving tickets and Help Desk ticketing system. Today we start off with ticket that says speaker volume on laptop, and it's from Yassine Salami. Thank you very much for sending this ticket. I appreciate it. The issue is my Lenovo laptop speaker volume is stuck. It doesn't change when you try to lower it. So this could be a couple of different things. Obviously, if you have a physical button on the laptop to press, if that's stuck, then that's obviously a physical issue. Something's physically broken. But if there is an issue with, let's say, you go to raise volume, like for example in this case here, this is a remote desktop, but if you see an icon like this, that means that sound is disabled. And you will get an option, and here this is within Windows 10, but it should be similar in Windows 11. So if you go to Sound Settings, you can see here that you can't change the volume because in this case there is, well, it's muted first of all, but and this is how it would show up, or there is no active or valid output device in this here. It says no output device found. So what can you do, right? Well, go to your device manager, and because you obviously have a device that needs to be installed, you may get a pop-up or a notification here, and within the device manager says like unknown device, just like this actually here. And if you know that that is your sound device, then you need to find your driver, which is specific to that Lenovo laptop in this case, right? So whatever the computer is, you would go and find it. And then once you install it, it will show up under here, under sound, video, and game controllers. So that's how you would fix that. All right. Again, thank you for submitting this ticket. I would say you should check audio settings to make sure that your device is installed and available. You may need to update audio drivers specific to your laptop. I apologize, it's kind of early in the morning for me, and actually it's a Saturday for me, so I kind of slept in. It's not early because I usually wake up earlier than this, but I'm trying to get into the groove of things, as they say. Okay. And what I'm trying to say is I'm going a little bit slower here than usual. Okay, moving on to a ticket from Justin Burton. Thank you, Justin, for submitting this ticket. Adding PC to domain won't work. Hey, Koboman, love the videos. Thank you very much. My issue is when I go to add my PC to the domain, the option is grayed out. I am able to ping the DC, which should be the domain controller. However, I can't add it. I even added my PC in the domain in Active Directory, and I appreciate any tips. So you need to join it to domain, and if you go to System, and or you go to Advanced System Settings here, it's not and or, you have to go to Advanced System Settings in order to join a computer to domain, and it will again look the same in Windows 10 or 11. And let's see here, computer name, this is where you need to go. So this is where you, if you want to rename your computer, so it says to rename this computer or change its domain or work group, click change. So this is kind of a twofold. I have a video on Active Directory and issues like this and all the things you need to do when it comes to Active Directory. I have many videos on Active Directory, so go through my channel if you're interested. Right below this video you see my icon for my channel. So if you click on that, you browse, go to videos, you'll see all kinds of different stuff. I have playlists on this type of stuff as well. And sorry, I'm drinking coffee at the same time. So if you want to join this computer, in this case, this computer is called Stream. You would select, if you want to join a domain, select Join Domain. Now, if you're having issues joining it to the domain, make sure you're logged in as local admin. So it's kind of a twofold, right? You need to have local admin privileges on this computer to join it to domain, in case there are restrictions, local restrictions to even get to this part of it. And then you would type in the name of the domain. So let's say the name of the domain is, I don't know, mydomain.com. So whatever it is, right? So you would put it in there. And you can find that in system settings on another computer. Usually it's under device specifications. Oh, I think it's here. It's either here or it's in this here. It's in about, or if you just go to system, and it would say usually computer name and then the domain that it's joined to. So get an example, or you already know what your domain is, right? So this would be within Active Directory. When you go to, let's say, browse Active Directory users and computers, on the very top on that menu, it will show you what your name of the domain is. You type that in, you select OK, and in this case it didn't find it, right? Because my computer is not talking to DC, ADDC, so Active Directory Domain Controller. This is what you've mentioned previously, DC. And it says could not be contacted because it doesn't exist. Ensure the domain name is typed correctly, and I'm not sure if this is the error that you're getting. But if that's the case, then you may have like a network issues, like you're not able to reach that other, you're not able to reach the domain controller. I mean, I know you said you can ping it, right? And so that's probably not the case. But if you can ping it from this computer, right, then it's fine, that it's not a network issue. But if you can't join it, try to make sure that you're logged in as local admin first. And in order to, if this would to work, you would get another pop-up and it would ask you for domain admin account. And that's when you would put your domain admin account, not local computer account. So that's how that works. Okay, I'll just do a quick reply. Make sure that you log in as local admin first before joining the computer to domain, but to join it to domain you would need domain admin account as well. I hope that helps. Thank you for the ticket. And so this, yeah, I mean, it says here the option is grayed out, so that's my thinking. I really think it's just a local admin issue type of deal here. Or it could be that you have a computer that is home edition. Windows 11 home, Windows 10 home, Windows 7 home, they cannot be joined a domain. I almost forgot that. So it's good to kind of mention that. Anybody who's watching along, if you have other tips, please let me know in the comments. I'm always open to learn new things, and I'm sure everybody else who is watching. So that's always appreciated. I'd like to think that, this place, my channel is, a community, a good community that helps each other. So security breach course of action. I think I talked about this in my previous video. Hi, this is just scenario-based question. For project role as an IT analyst, the department has 3 PCs, suddenly go blue screen. Suspected malware infected. What should I ask my security team check? Login specifics to this. So yeah, I talked about this in the previous video, but just I'll quickly say, if it's 3 computers that suddenly go to blue screen, I think the last thing that actually caused this, for example, was a CrowdStrike issue. Computers that had CrowdStrike security installed on them. They were causing issues like this, literally thousands of computers just broke, and it wasn't blue screen of death, if I recall. Actually, I'm not sure if it was a blue screen of death. I have a specific video on this too, and if you just search for CrowdStrike on my channel, you'll be able to find it. It's been a while, sometime last year, but yeah, I mean, you can watch my previous video too. But just to quickly say, obviously, you want to disconnect. If you suspect malware, disconnect all the computers. And if you find out what caused it, let's say an email, that came through had a bad link that was causing, creating a havoc on the computer systems at your work, then you want to disconnect that, but also make sure you forward that email to the at phishing. No, I'm sorry, it's phishing at whatever your company is, so they can investigate, so that cybersecurity or security can look at it. And here's one from Mohammed. Did I actually work? Hold on, I just want to make sure that I've closed the ones that I worked on previously and I don't talk about them twice. Man, they changed this ticketing system just for me not using it for a month. So they changed where the things are. Okay, here it is. Wow, they made it look like ServiceNow. Kinda. I think so. Assigned, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Okay, I just need to close all the ones that I've worked on so we don't accidentally talk about them twice. Okay. All right, so let's go to this one here and see what happens here. OneDrive from Abbas. Thank you very much for submitting ticket. I knew to using. You're new to using OneDrive, and some of my company's OneDrive online files don't get synced. So I'm linked from the PC, this PC from my computer, and then I logged in and synced back. The folders are being auto-created are folders 1, folder 2, but the one that it's actually synced is the one that is folder 3, for instance. Huh, that's really odd. I don't see attached file as in status besides it. My question is, can the other 2 folders be deleted without changing anything online and rename the latest version? Yeah, there are issues, and here's a screenshot. Well, that's just a screenshot of the OneDrive icon. So what I've seen happen is with all cloud-based stuff that Microsoft uses is kind of finicky. I've seen issues where when you try to sync stuff, whether it's from your OneDrive to the cloud-based OneDrive, you got OneDrive that's local, OneDrive that's on the cloud, meaning, you go to office.com and that's the cloud, somewhere God knows where the Microsoft servers are. And when it tries to sync that, it tries to match it to what is up there in the cloud. And if it sees a duplicate of it, and if it assumes that it's a duplicate, instead of deleting it, it creates a folder and they just add number 1 or number 2 or number 3 in it, right? And this is what's happening here to ensure that your other data isn't accidentally deleted. So it's like when you try to name something the same name, and here, let's just try this here. When I try to create a new folder, let's go to my documents here. If I create a new folder here, it's new folder, right? And if I just enter, it's just going to name it that. But if I try to create another folder named new folder, it just automatically names it 2, right? Because there's a folder already there named new folder, so it has to identify the second folder as same name, but it has number 2. Right? So that's what's happening up there with the syncing. And this could be caused by, you're kind of touching on it, right? There is an issue with the computer itself and the version of the OneDrive that's on there, and the fact that you're logged into that OneDrive. You might be logged into more than one computer with that same account. And I have a feeling that that's what's happening and creating these duplicate folders. However, to answer your question, yes, you can delete 1 and 2 as long as you know there's nothing in there that you want to keep, and just keep the one that's 3, right? So it's completely up to you what you want to keep. and there's nothing wrong with deleting that. But I've seen this issue too, like uploading stuff to SharePoint, which is also part of Teams. So if you go inside of Teams, you have an option to that's within your group. You're browsing your Teams, and the group that you belong to for your company has an option for files where all the shared files are, which is inherently on the SharePoint, which is all cloud-based. Sometimes when you try to copy files into it, it will create these odd files. And I kind of wish I could recreate that here right now, but unfortunately I don't have it installed on this computer as it was freshly reimaged. So I will say, yes, you can delete the files or the folders you no longer need. Just make sure you don't, well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. I was going to say just make sure you don't delete the stuff you want to keep, but it's kind of said there already. So, and the issue usually, I'd say, can happen when logged in to OneDrive on multiple devices. Hey, look at that. Auto-completion AI for the win. So that's that. It's closed. Let's go to another one. Here, let's do this one here. Hello, Koboman. Sir, my name is Arbaz from India. Nice to meet you. Thank you for submitting this ticket. Thank you for teaching me about 365, Office 365. My pleasure. I am now employed by a company. Oh, that's awesome. Outlook is causing issues for certain users. The problem is that users get emails, but when they send emails outside of the organization, they do not send them and get errors. So this is a great question here. Let me see. If I'm logged in to my Microsoft 365, actually I will show you here, but the video will cut into it because it's on a different computer, but I'll show you what happens here. All right, so here we are logged into Exchange Admin Center. So this is a place where you would control all the emails that are coming in and going out from your organization. And since this is specifically for Microsoft 365, all of this is online. It's on the cloud, right? Before, the Exchange servers used to be a local thing where you had a local server and that would control all the emails, all the rules for the emails, everything that you can set it up as Exchange administrator where you would control these type of things. So in this case, let's just see an example of what could be happening when it comes to sending emails outside. So what could be happening is that there is a rule set on the Exchange admin server, Exchange admin center, that prevents you and anybody else maybe to send emails out. Now this is kind of one of those things that are complex, and there are many different variations of rules that you can create, but let's just kind of see give you an idea where this might be. So when you're logged in the Exchange Admin Center and you go under Mail Flow here and select Rules, you will see all the rules that are set up in there right now. But let's go ahead and select Add a Rule just to give you an example of what could happen. It says Create a new rule. You can name it Block Emails from being sent out. You can name it whatever you want. And it says apply this rule if. So it's if, then. This is the type of setup that you're programming this rule to be. So apply this rule if. So if, in this case, the sender, because we're sending emails. And then you have options on what are they going to do in under which situation would you make a change and apply the rule that follows. So you can say is external. So if the sender is external, you can make that change. This is just for an example, or you can specify is a domain, is a member of this group, or address includes any of these words, address matches any of these text patterns, is on recipient supervisor, has specific properties including any of these words. So there could be a rule, and as you can see here, there are many variations. It could simply be a word that's within the email that is in there. So it's a rule that's been set up potentially that could be blocking email from being sent. So make sure that you see who are they sending these emails to, and then check to see if that specific domain or again any of these things apply that could be preventing for the email being sent out. This could be for security reasons that's already been set up. So, and then you can tell it if this happens, if somebody tries to send an email from a sender to this specific rule that we've kind of attached to it, then do this. Then the system itself will automatically do one of these things. And then you can say block the message, for example, right? In this case. And then you can say reason why, then you would get a notification. It says reject the message, include an explanation. Reject the message and with an enhanced status code, or just delete the message without notifying anyone. So this could be happening. And then of course you can set up exceptions. So I hope that explains it. But if you don't have access to this and you work for a company, chances are you work some other IT job or whatever else, and you suspect this to be the issue, you may have to forward it to people that have that access. And a lot of times, and this happens to me too, is you have the knowledge, but you're not giving the ability to use that knowledge. And that can happen sometimes within organizations, unfortunately. So I hope that helps, and I hope that resolves the issue. And yeah, but if it's happening to certain users, it could be, again, specific to what they're trying to do. Could be specific email that they're trying to send things to, or a domain, or whatever else. It could many variations. And just to wrap this up, I would check to see if there is if there's an email exchange rule blocking the emails from being sent out. Forward issue to email exchange support. Save. All right. Okay, moving on. Let's do installing antivirus. Sure. And it says here how to install antivirus for computers in domain. Should install antivirus, I'm assuming, should I install antivirus separately for each computer in domain, or can it be installed at a time? I'm assuming all at once. Yes, you can set this up however you want. However, I would make sure to, what's the word where you're trying to spread out the deployment time so you're not taxing the distribution point for the software. So this is something that I talked about in my SCCM videos, where you don't want to overload the distribution software. So for those reasons, you cascade. I thought about it. You cascade the deployment. So this is for those reasons you have, for example, different ring groups that would install any type of software, not just antivirus, and it would happen on different intervals. So let's say today we're automatically deploying ring 1, which could be deploying 200 computers. And next day or next week, we will deploy to another 100 computers or so. And that's just for an example. It could be a larger number, but this could be applied to antivirus, any software, any Windows updates, etc., etc., etc. So yes, you can automatically set up the installation. And antivirus software people, they have MSI packages that are set to be silent, meaning that you see nothing happen on the screen, so it installs automatically. And you can also deploy this through, if you have access to Windows Server, you can set up a deployment, group-based deployment for those computers that are within Active Directory. That's another way. That's a simple way of doing content management in the sense of software package management, in the sense that this is how you deploy software for all the computers. So And of course, you can use, as we saw, Exchange Server earlier, so it's Microsoft 365. You can use Intune to also create packages. Again, I've created a video on that as well. So I will, just to wrap it up, I will say you can deploy antivirus software manually or with software distro group. Let's just say that if you are going to deploy to multiple computers, make sure you cascade the deployment to ensure that distribution point is not overloaded. Either way is fine, but for many computers you are better off using software like SCCM or Intune. Let's just say that. I mean, I know there are other ones out there, but I can't think of them right now. And what else to keep in mind when it comes to this, I would say, oh yeah, make sure you test the software on another multiple computers to make sure there are no issues. Also known as sandboxing. Sandboxing? This is how you test before you deploy. You test different versions of software. You pick certain computers. You do some sandbox testing before you deploy it to everything else. Make sure everything's okay. Thank you for submitting these stickage. I appreciate it. I think I will wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share it with friends that might enjoy this type of free education. I hope you have a wonderful day. And as a last bit of advice, always stay proactive. Always make sure that you reward yourself with the hard work that you do. And don't ever wait for others to do that, because sometimes that will never happen. So I know this is kind of a little bit off topic, but I just figured I give some advice, I suppose. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.